I think I need a little love, I think I need a little sleep, I think I need a little you. Big empty bed, I've been swimming in my head, been in a rut, but I know what to do.
Hi everyone, welcome to another Friday episode. I'm Lynn, he's Jonathan, and we are Create and Capture Life. This week we are going to do a quick Q&A. A lot of you guys keep asking the same questions on Instagram and on YouTube, so we just figured there's only 6 questions, but depending on the answers, it could take a little longer than it seems. So we'll see how it goes, but here's your top 6 questions for 2022 so far. Are you ever really going to travel full-time? What's the holdup? So first holdup is COVID recovery. And I don't mean COVID recovery as in the illness, I mean COVID financial recovery. Like a lot of people during COVID, we, being furloughed, did, even with whatever those supplements or whatever they called them, during the time, we were still making less than when we were working. Probably 40% less than when we were actually working.
At least.
And so, yes, we were able to continue to pay our bills, but part of that was dipping into our savings every single month to stay ahead of things. You know, we didn't do the furlough, or whatever you called it, or the whatever, where you didn't pay your rent. We didn't do that for, we didn't have loans that we didn't pay, or we don't have loans anyway, but we paid all of our bills during COVID, and we didn't have to, but we chose to. And because of that, we are still recovering financially from COVID. And it was, although we could have gone full time, it wasn't smart until we got back up our savings back up to a comfortable level where we felt like we could take the risk and not be financially stupid about it, or find ourselves traveling full time and out of money. Or there are people who, now that we're all back to work, and especially in the entertainment industry that we work in, there's a lot of people who haven't recovered, who didn't have savings. Luckily, we were smart ahead of time, and we had savings that we could dip into, and we had those things available to us because we were financially smart previous to that. Whereas the people who didn't, now the rent, I forgot what it's called, but
forbearance.
The forbearance on rents and mortgages and all those things. We know people who are dealing with that here in California, where they didn't pay their rent for 2 years almost, and now all of a sudden the bill's due and they can't pay it, or they didn't pay car payments, and now that payment's due and they can't afford it.
Yeah.
Or things like that. And we didn't want to get into that position, and so we made sure we didn't. But now we want to build it back up, build our savings back up, and be smart when we do hit the road.
Yeah. So.
And also, 2022, this is the busiest we've been in this industry since everything happened in the last, it's May. It's beginning of May, so the last 4 months. This is the busiest we've been in over 2 years with work, which, and we're blessed to have the work, but we don't want to bank on that because in our industry it's fickle and you just never know, and so,
So the question was, are we ever really going to travel full time? And the answer is yes. What's the holdup?
That was one of them.
Being smart with our money right now and making sure that we have the right resources, that once we do hit the road, we have our safety cushion, our safety pillow, whatever you want to call it, to fall back on. So yes, we are hitting the road, but we just want to make sure it's the right time. One of the other things that we're basically taking advantage of right now, while we still have very good health insurance, is making sure that all of our medical is taken care of. And those of you guys that have been following us for a while know that Lynn's got some medical reoccurring issues with her brain, with
no comments, please.
Yeah, not lack of, but neurological issues and stuff like that.
That doesn't make it sound any better.
Anyways, you can better explain it.
It's fine. Go ahead.
No, what
just-
explain your.
No, there's nothing. For those of you who've been following us for a while, you know there was some question as to whether or not I had a stroke right before everything happened with COVID. We have since found out that wasn't the case after being able to finally see a new doctor, things like that. So we're just getting all of our medical ducks in a row.
Yeah.
All those tests that you do, like all the screening tests that you do every year, which I actually do every year, getting all those done this year, those kinds of things, just making sure that, still things can happen, but right now we have really good health insurance and we're going to use it.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what insurance we're going to have when we do. We've looked into different things, but we haven't decided on a plan, for traveling different states and things. So eventually we will probably do a video on, researching medical insurance. But right now we have excellent insurance and we're using it.
Yeah. So that's a big one because I don't want there to be able to be any surprises. Once we hit the road, then we don't have regular, very good medical insurance. If there's something that needs taken care of, let's take care of that now.
Yeah, or at least be preventive, we're trying to do all the preventative care.
Yes, because going down to Mexico to get your teeth cleaned is one thing, but going down to go get a brain MRI or something like that, I don't know how much trust I have in that system.
Right.
So.
The other thing about whether or not we're going to go full-time is one of the things, if you guys followed our original journey, when we were set to hit the road, the day we were set to hit the road and everything fell apart, I will link that video here in case you didn't see that. But we were literally had sold our house, packed up, we're ready to move into the RV, and everything fell apart. That was crazy. But one of the fail-safes that we had or felt that we had at the time was even during the COVID and all the things when people were giving up full-time RV life. Honestly, I think of all the channels we follow now that used to be full-time, there's only one that's still truly full-time. Everyone else has a place. Either it's land or a spot in an RV park that they've purchased or whatever it is, so that if something like this happens again, they have somewhere to go and they're not worried about whether campgrounds are closing and those things. We thought we had that. In about the last year or so, that has changed, and we don't really have that safety net now. So we need to rethink, what's the backup plan if something happens again and you can't go to RV parks or you can't go here and there because our previous family backup plan is no longer an option. So that's different.
So the last point really on what's kind of holding us up is really some commitments that I've made. Work commitments. So I've promised work that I would stick around for a little bit to kind of help, keep things going, kind of get things that, I should say, get things back up and running, keep things going, find a good replacement for myself, and really just, it was a promise to come back. And I made that promise and I plan on keeping it. So that's one of the other big reasons that we're kind of sticking around is it wasn't the right time to go because of the commitments that I made.
So those are the big reasons. Actually, probably that's all. Actually, probably really good grammar right there. Those are really the reasons, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that we could say much more, but I know a lot of you keep asking, I thought you were going to go full-time. I thought you were going to go full-time. When are you going to go full-time? Are you living in your RV? All those every week. And so hopefully that helps answer kind of that. Yes, we are planning on doing it. Yes, we have a date in mind. We're not going to share the date because it could cause problems in other areas. So we're not going to share the date this time. Plus, we built up such a big thing to the date that we had last time, and it was such a letdown that we don't want to go down that thing again. So we do have a date in mind, and as it gets closer, we'll let you guys know. But we are planning on doing it 100%.
Yeah.
And why are we not RVing now while we're still working here in California? The biggest thing is the cost. RV parks in this area to stay between gas prices and RV parks it would cost what we're paying in this apartment to live in the RV. So it really doesn't make sense, because right now we have more space. We have access to a super easy, super nice laundry room. We have a pool right here. Like, we like our neighbors. The neighborhood's awesome. We can walk the dogs every day. We're close to all of our family, all of those things. And if we were to move into the RV, we would not have that space. We also wouldn't be traveling. We'd be parked and paying what we're paying now or more. Cost is huge. Why would we downsize into an RV that we can't travel in because we're working full time?
Yeah, and honestly, the nearest 1,000 trails to us, if for those of you that say, well, why don't you just use the 1,000 trail system, stay in the 1,000 trail system, blah blah blah. The nearest one to us is about 40 miles, and for those of you that are familiar with Southern California, it's 40 miles into Riverside and then south on the 15, which is the traffic that 40 miles can take.
Well, Tim used to live there. So our friend Tim worked at Disney and lived in Menifee. It took him 2 hours one way. So we would be adding gas costs. We'd be paying already what we're paying now. We'd be adding gas. So we wouldn't have to pay for the camping fee because we'd be staying at 1,000 Trails. But we'd be paying in gas, and he would have to drive 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
And then I would have to do the same thing when I worked. What happened to being an RV tech? This is your question.
Yeah. I'm still doing it. Take about 2 to 3 calls a month. A lot of the things that I've been working on, actually with another RV tech schoolmate of mine, whenever he needs help, he calls me up to do problem solving and stuff like that. He really took on all of the plumbing and all that other stuff, while I took on all of the electrical work. So obviously, with my background as an entertainment electrician and whatnot, I kind of thrived in that, and he thrived in other areas. So what happens is, normally he calls me and says, hey, I got a problem, can you help me out? And I help him out, and vice versa. If I have a plumbing problem, I'll send him a picture or something like that and go, what do I do here? And he'll call me and say, oh, you got to do this, that, and the other. So, okay, all right. So it's been a great partnership with him. If you are in the Southern California area, San Diego, or that area, look up My Flippin' RV, and Jay is an amazing RV tech down there. So if you're traveling down there and you need some service, give him a call. Chances are I may be on the other end of the phone if he's placing phone calls. So for some help.
I don't think that really answered the question, though. So are you planning on being a full-time RV tech at some point?
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Well, it says what happened to be an RV tech, and that was what we said.
I'm still doing it.
So, okay. So you're still planning on doing it.
Yeah.
How long have we been together? July of 2007. So.
Is that how long it's been?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how long, not how long we've been married, but how long we've been together. July of 2007, so however long that is. I don't know. I can't do math right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to save that question till last. What are the best and worst things about being on YouTube? I think I'm going to answer for myself. The best part for me about being on YouTube is meeting new people that have friends that have become family. Hearing from you guys, your great comments, your great emails, sending out happy mail to people. I love all of that. I think that's all great. The worst part about YouTube, I would say, is it's easy to judge us. And it doesn't get under my skin, but it does make me question the human race a little bit. The bad comments don't upset me. I have friends who have been on YouTube and it really upset them. They don't upset me at all, but they do make me question what the heck's going on with people sometimes. And the last thing I'm going to say for the worst is when people tell us that we deserve negative comments, we deserve whatever it is that happens because we put ourselves out there, and that's a choice that we made. And so any negative that comes with that, we deserve it because we put ourselves out there. I don't think that's true.
Yeah, we put ourselves out there, never expecting to have other people, a lot of people come and follow us. We're happy for everybody that has. We love, like Lynn said, all of the people that we've met that have become, good friends and stuff like that.
And whether we've met you in person or just via email and comments, we still cherish you as friends.
Yeah.
Because we do have that, interaction with each other, and we do really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, so I don't think that just because some people are keyboard warriors and want to leave nasty comments or whatever, or make any kind of comment, any kind of negative comment, I should say, about us,
I'll tell you the top ones that I get. I play with my hair too much. I never sit still, which I don't generally anyway. I do play with my hair too much, but it is just who I am. It's a nervous thing. And that I've gained weight. So thanks for the reminder of that. Really appreciate that one.
I don't really read the comments too much. I just try to respond to stuff. I do find it funny when people call us fat. All of our friends that have been on YouTube for a while, I'll say, you've made it on YouTube when someone calls you fat. Well, there you go.
But you didn't answer your part. What's the best of YouTube for you?
No, I agree with you. I think the best of YouTube is meeting either virtually or in person, some of you, and developing, parasocial friendships with you guys. Actual having people that we physically know and exchange email addresses and and phone numbers and whatnot, and having developed some pretty cool friendships over the years.
Yeah.
And again, the negative is obviously all of the hardest part, I should say, is all of the negative comments and stuff like that. Not because I'm affected by them, but I know that Lynn sometimes will look at stuff and go, really? So
it just really sometimes makes me question.
Yeah.
What is wrong with people?
Yeah.
We're not that important that we need to upset your whole day based on what we did.
No.
We're not that important.
No.
So don't let us ruin your day or your week or whatever it is because you didn't like something we said or
Exactly.
whatever, because we're not that important.
Yeah.
Okay, I saved this as last question because this is going to be a tough one. I don't know how much we're going to be able to say, but
This is a really tough one for us, guys. Our last question that we wanted to save to last, because I don't know what the answer is what is our opinion of Disney right now?
and all the Disney's bad press.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. There's a lot personally that we could say, that we think, that we believe, that we can't say and won't say because we both are employed by the company.
Yep.
You read that into it what you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's there's not a lot we can say on that. Not that we wouldn't want to
Yep.
say some things, but we're just not, as current cast members, we are not in a position to say.
Neither one of us.
And literally, you're making me sweat.
Yeah, neither one of us are spokespeople for the company or anything like that, so we are not officially speaking. Anything we do say is our own personal opinion and does not reflect all of the views and all of that other legal mumbo jumbo. You guys know what we're talking about. But yeah, the long and short of it is, let's just say we don't want to have a public opinion on
We don't have.
the dealings of our employer.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I can say we agree.
Yeah.
We agree on our thoughts completely, and we do talk about them a lot, and I'm literally sweating right now. But
Yeah.
NDA.
Yep.
So eventually,
If you see us in person, you can ask us, and maybe it's a little bit different. But
it's not. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. That was the last question. Now that I'm literally I'm sweating from that question. Thanks for asking the questions. We hope this kind of cleared up kind of direction that we're going in right now. It's not our typical way to end a video because now we're both really uncomfortable. But someone else did ask what Happy Mail is. Happy Mail is when you send us, you email us, the email address is in the description box below. You email us your name and address, and we will send you, occasionally we will send you Happy Mail. And it could be anything from a card to a gift to whatever. So if you want to be on our Happy Mail list, feel free to email us. And like I said, that email address is down below. Just make sure you include your full name and your address that you would like us to send the Happy Mail to. It can be a P.O. box, that's fine. We do have a couple who have sent P.O. boxes, and that's fine. So yeah, if you'd like to sign up for Happy Mail, feel free to do that. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Create and Capture Life on Instagram. And we really do appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Just hit that button. It helps us, doesn't hurt you. And if you like this video, please hit that like button. If you have comments, we would love to read them. One of our favorite things about posting videos is your comments. So
even the negative ones.
Yep, 100%, even the negative ones. So feel free to comment down below. We love to hear from you guys. And I guess that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Non-answers are sometimes the biggest answers.
So we're going to leave it at that, and we will see you next Monday with a new Motorhome Monday. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Don't answer questions you're not comfortable with.